Remember when I talked about a bunch of drug addicts and compared them to the Astros, Mariners, and Rangers, and really the entire American League West division? Well, if you didn't know that, I talked about a bunch of drug addicts and compared them to the Astros, Mariners, and Rangers, and really the entire AL West division. And I did that because of how messed up this division is, how broken these teams all are. Nobody wants to win it. They're all seemingly sabotaging themselves in some way. Either that or they're just being very generous. No, you take the division. No, you take it. Oh, you're so sweet. I appreciate the offer, but I can't take it. It's too good. Well, all of a sudden, out of seemingly nowhere, the Rangers, a team that looked out of it 2 weeks ago, are right back in this damn thing. So thank you for being here. Subscribe or not. And if you haven't joined the 49% Elite Humans, consider hitting that button if you enjoy the videos, as the Texas Rangers looked absolutely cooked a couple weeks ago. Hell, even like a week ago, they had two teams ahead of them in the division race, at least one in the wild card race. And even if the gap was somewhat manageable, the literal two best parts of their team got hurt. Corey Seager had to get his appendix removed, which isn't the worst thing in the world. He's expected to be back by the end of the year. The issue is that's still almost a month he'll miss from when it happened, late August, and those are all important games for a Rangers team that needs offense as desperately as this country needs God. The Rangers offense is a top 5 worst in the game this year. Now you're taking out their best hitter. Yeah, I'm not some descendant of Sherlock Holmes, but that doesn't sound like a good equation. And arguably, even worse, the best pitcher on the team is now out for the entire year. Nathan Eovaldi, a man who was having his best season at age 36, mind you. Bro is one of the finest of wines out there, putting up a 1.73 ERA. It was ridiculous. Well, because of a rotator cuff strain, he's now done, and that sucks. Now, thankfully, the Rangers pitching staff as a whole is one of the strongest in all of baseball. In fact, it's the literal best. Yes, a lot of that, of course, had to do with Eovaldi's crazy numbers, but I guess you can argue the Seager situation is worse, because the Rangers can at least afford to lose a pitcher more than they can lose a hitter, because even though it's one of the best pitchers in baseball this year, but yeah, it still sucks. So how can you look at a team that's already been meh all year, now is without their best players for most of, if not the rest of the year, and be like, yeah, that team, they got a shot? You can't. That's the answer. But the Rangers do not care. In fact, they just made the biggest statement imaginable. If you just looked at how the Rangers have done each month individually, you'd see that July was their only truly great month, and other than that, it's just been a whole lot of meh, and that includes in August where they went exactly 500. But looking a little deeper would show you that this team's been very good since the end of August. It started with them taking on Cleveland, and before that series, August had been an objectively awful month for the Rangers. They were 6-12 at that point, and some of those 12 losses couldn't have been more torturous for Rangers fans. I mean, it was insane. To start the month, day 1 of August, Rangers had a 1-run lead in the 9th. JP Crawford says, psych. Then like 2 weeks later, Rangers have a 4-2 lead against the Diamondbacks in the 9th inning. Phil Maton on the mound. He's cooking. Jake McCarthy, 1-2-3, sit down, 1 out. Alec Thomas, 1-2-3, sit down. I mean, this inning could not quite literally have started off better for the Rangers, only for it to quite not literally end any worse. He strikes out the first 2 guys on 3 pitches. You're up 2. Nobody's on base. Well, then James McCann goes deep. Then Blake Alexander gets hit. Then Geraldo Perdomo walks. Maton just forgot how to throw strikes, or he was afraid to after the home run. In the end, it only led to another home run. Ketel Marte cracks one out for a 3-run bomb. Unreal. 3 days later, they lost the game 14-2 in Toronto. They lose that series, then lose 3 out of 4 games against the Royals. I mean, things were not going with it. This team was not having fun. It was time to start looking at football season. Although, I mean, are the Cowboys even a team to look forward to? I don't know. Point is, things weren't good, and it only looked to continue back home. They're down in the 9th inning to Cleveland. Looked like yet another loss until Kate Smith and the Guardians got a quick call from Emmanuel Clase and said, bet. Double, base hit, tie game. Then Jock Peterson ropes one for the win. 3 straight pitches that got rocked. Walk off, and the next 2 games couldn't have gone less stressful. The Rangers pitching shut the Guardians down in both of them. They win 10-0 and then 5-0. Well, they got that immediately turned right back on themselves by the Angels coming to town. They lose 4-0. It's like, well, all right, Rangers back to their old ways. No, they win game 2 7-3. Then the next game 20-3. This one was a laugher by the 7th inning. Time to go out west. First, the homeless A's, and they whooped their asses too. Now Arizona, they're down 2 in the 9th and rally for 2 to tie it. Go to the 10th. This line shot back at the pitcher somehow ends up almost toward the first base dugout. 2-run score. Rangers win 7-5. That's 6 wins in a row until they lost the next 2 games to lose the series. The damn D-bags, man. I guess this is the revenge for 2023. Like, we may not make the playoffs in 2025, but best believe we're doing everything we can to bring you down with us. So after that D-back series, it's like, man, this is probably just yet another classic 2025 Rangers trope. They look good, like they're about to actually go on a run just to fold and be mid again. Well, after losing a series the way they did to the D-backs, 2 lousy losses after such a great comeback in that first game, the Rangers really could not have responded any better since. Back home now playing the Astros, they walk off the first game in 12 innings. The cheerleaders are loving it, the shirtless dudes are loving it, everyone is happy. Well, nobody was happy after the Astros won 11-0 the next night, but a sweep cannot be expected. A series win is what should be, and at this point in the year, it's practically a must, and they got it done. They get enough hits and runs off of Framber Valdez in the series finale. Thankfully, no Astros catchers were harmed in the making of this game. Patrick Corbin, man, we gotta address this for a second. Patrick Corbin is a guy who was, and I know I say literally a lot, but he literally was the worst pitcher in baseball for the last 5 years. For 5 straight seasons living out that contract with the Nationals. He wasn't hurt. He had absolutely no issue staying on the field. He was just designated batting practice. In 2020, his ERA was 4.66, but that was a shortened season for everyone, so like, who cares? Well, 2021, his ERA was 5.82, 6.31 in 2022, 5.20 in 2023, and 5.62 in 2024. He didn't have any injuries throughout any of that. None. He made at least 31 starts from 2021 and on. Bro really went out there, got his shit smoked, and had 0 issues returning just for the same thing to happen again start after start for 5 years. That honestly is inspiring. I'm not kidding. He also was a great teammate, bought a ping pong table for the clubhouse to help the guys bond more. I mean, yes, he's getting paid millions, but he was the worst pitcher in baseball, getting punched in the mouth for 5 years straight, and nobody ever had a bad thing to say about the guy. That says a lot. And another sign he's genuine is because of the fact he signed with the Rangers on its own. His contract was fully up with the Nationals. He could have just retired and said, I got more than enough money, I'm done, I suck, all right, I'm out. But no, he felt he still had some good pitching left in the tank. I mean, half a decade's worth of getting shelled would say otherwise, but take a dude who constantly gets back up and combine it with the Rangers' secret powerful pitching lab, and you got the season Corbin is putting up in 2025, which has actually been solid. And I know it couldn't be any worse after the last 5 years, but he actually has been pretty good this year, and he continued that into this Houston series, pitching into the 6th inning with 5 strikeouts, allowing just 1 run. He gets the win after the Rangers bullpen slams the door in the Astros' faces. Next up, the best team in baseball, the Milwaukee Brewers, coming to town. 2 years ago, both these teams had yet to win a championship in franchise history. 2 years later, it's as if the Rangers were just trolling the Brewers to show them what it actually looks like to have a ring. You're the best team in baseball? Don't care. Michael Hellman, a 29-year-old journeyman who's already been released by both the Cardinals and Pirates this year after being on the Twins for 5 minutes last year, all before getting picked up by the Rangers in May, smacks this sinker from Jose Quintana for a grand slam. Bro's actually been very good, and for shits and giggles just drives home another run in the 7th. Meanwhile, Jacob Latz, who's been good this year, and the Ranger bullpen shuts the Brewers out. Brewers jump ahead in Game 2. They're up 3-1, and who else but Michael Hellman continues to raise hell on this Brewers team. He ties it up with another home run. Wyatt Langford triples in the go-ahead run. Kyle Higashioka makes it 5-3, and that extra run ends up being very important. Rangers win 5-4. They just won the series over the Brewers. That's big. But the series finale couldn't have started out much worse. The Brewers go back-to-back to start the game. Just like that. Bang, bang, it's 2-0 Brewers. Without an out even being recorded. Peralta on the mound for Milwaukee. He's been one of the best pitchers in baseball this year. Like, come on, did we really expect the Rangers to sweep this series? Well, we should have, apparently. Shit. Jake Berger pops one out. They rally for 2 more in the 3rd. Rangers take the lead on this balk. Then Berger says, why the hell not? Another home run. Rowdy Tellez eventually drives home a 6th run in the 8th inning. Big day for big ball dudes. They represented well here. And after Merrill Kelly gave up those 2 rockets to start the game, yes, it wasn't a great start. He gave up 10 hits, but to go from 2 runs without recording an out on back-to-back home runs to pitching into the 6th inning, giving up 3 runs overall and getting the win is a great feat. Rangers bullpen stays hot. Brewers only got 1 run the rest of the way and nothing after Kelly left. The Texas Rangers just swept the Brewers, the best team in baseball, after taking 2 of 3 from the Astros. Since being down in the 9th inning of that game against the Guardians, they have gone 13-4, and at the time of this video are about a game or 2 back of the Mariners for a wild card spot, and 2 games back of the Astros for the division. Now, a big part of why they're in it as much as they are is because of, yes, how much the Astros and Mariners refuse to pull away, especially the Astros right now. But you can't deny this has gotten really interesting, in large part because the Rangers have been playing really well. It super sucks they can't have Eovaldi out there, but they still have a strong pitching staff, should be getting Seager back, which makes this, of course, even more interesting. And I might have just jinxed them, and that would suck, but hey, this just got really interesting. Let me know your thoughts, and thank you for watching. Love you. Bye.